What's up, guys? Welcome to another live stream. Good morning, good afternoon. I hope you guys had a great week. It was a busy week. A lot of news, full of central bankers' interest rate decision with Australia, the Fed, and the Bank of England. And then yesterday, right, to finish the week with a volatility move during the NFP data that came out, right? Again, another strong job-related news. It looks like the economy, looks like in that regard, in the US, everything looks good. And yeah, don't even know if at this point it's still good news, bad news, good news. How the market is interpreting the situation. The Fed during the FOMC, we saw the 75 basis point hike. We saw that initially the market was looking at a little bit of a dovish tonality from the Fed. However, during the press conference, everything changed during when the chair Paul was talking and during the Q&A. We saw the moves on the market, right? In the market, we saw the big rallies, big drops, basically price doing what it always does. And if you take a look at what we did last week, the predictions we made last week, some of them actually played out quite nicely, almost to the perfection, to be honest. And we'll go through some of them. So we are going to start with dollar index. That's usually the one that I start with. For me, it's an important asset to analyze. It gives me a broader view of what to expect from the major FX. So I always like to take a look into it. Recently, I started analyzing as well the Euro index and the Yen index, which also can provide great inputs of what to expect from those specific currency pairs. Then I go through the indices, S&P and NASDAQ, and we go then through the major FX specifically, just to take a look at the opportunities for next week. And in the end, if you guys are interested, we can go take a look a little bit at Bitcoin and Ethereum, that they are finally moving to the upside after almost 1.5 months just ranging without not going anywhere. So yeah, if you are new, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So we do 2 live streams per week. One on Saturday, where I do this weekly analysis for the week ahead. Feel free to comment. Feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to give me your ideas for what maybe we can expect for next week. Any key levels that you are looking at, let me know. We can analyze them together, we can discuss them together. That's usually how it's going, how it works during the stream. So feel free to say. And the other stream that I do is on Tuesdays. That can be more educational content, or we just carry on and looking at what market is doing. So here we are. We're going to start the second week of November. So we are almost finishing the year. Basically 1.5 months and that's it, and it's Christmas, and basically the year is done. And it's winter time. It's going to be weird with the World Cup, right? I don't know how much people are going to be paying attention to it. I will, for sure. I like football, and I will be paying attention to the World Cup for sure. Yeah, so let's get started. Right, so where were we last week? Dollar index. I think you were here, right? We were getting close to this, reacting from this level. Thursday, Friday, 31st. Yeah, there you go, 31st. This is where we were. Where we were last week, where we opened. Somewhere in there, right? Yeah, and I mentioned that regarding the dollar index, basically price was trading in between these two extremes. Oops, let's do this again. yeah, price was trading in between these two extremes. Something that we have predicted during the last few weeks, that this low didn't really reach its target, so I could see more move to the downside. I start noticing that the moves in here have been compressed a little bit, and this actually was one of the last months. I could see the scenario where price could go higher, it could react somewhere in there, and basically that's what it happened during the FOMC, right? It was actually quite beautiful move. Our price came all the way down in here, and it reacted from this fresh demand, demand that was left behind because these lows never took it. This demand has been taken with this one, but that one was fresh. And to be honest, looking precisely at this, it looked like the supply was never really taken in there, but there was still space to at least to fill until there. Then price would make a decision, either break it or not. So you could still look for longs, because this high in here didn't really touch the upside. On the other hand, I think from what we had seen is that before that, and this was actually a great week to analyze or to study in grooves and scales. It was something that I covered, for example, on the dollar CAD during last Tuesday, on the dollar franc Swiss, on the NASDAQ as well. So it's in terms of looking at the bigger picture, and we start going a little bit into the lower time frame, which lows or highs are being broken as price is moving, right? And depending on the scales, for example, the break of this low in here, I think it was broken by kind of 1 point or something like that. It kind of it starts showing the indication that maybe wants to go further down until where maybe feel this compression that's in here, and the natural zone, it will be the retest of the next demand zone. On the other hand, we did broke these highs in here on the bigger picture. Price wants to go a little bit higher, and price hasn't really reached kind of the final target. So you could still look for a long. So you could, at this point during the Fed, you could look for shorts in the first instance, and then in the bigger picture you could actually look for a price to go higher, to go much higher actually. Another point in here, it would be then until where price would go, right? If price was about to go up, until where it would go. I'm still aware that maybe there's a chance eventually in the future for price to go there. I don't know when that's going to happen. To be honest, now I think price may continue to go down and eventually break these lows. That's what I'm looking for on the dollar, because this supply was still fresh. And if you actually take a look at the weekly candle, and this case actually it's quite nice to look at the weekly. Basically that's what we've been trading. Almost check the weeks of the candles, and we can see that price at the lows and reacted from this week, and then basically it went all the way up just to react from the next one. In reality, I think it missed by a bit, but it's basically touching that level, right? And it made all the move down, tracking there. So sometimes it's almost as easy as this. Just check the almost 2 weeks on the higher time frame. If I'm reacting from one on the weekly, maybe price wants to go and look for the next one on the next weekly candle from the highs. That's basically what the dollar index did during this last week, which was interesting. Yeah, so we are still within this range. Nothing really has changed. However, I could see a scenario where I could see weaker dollar. I could see dollar going further down. This move in here, it was during the FOMC. It was quite fast, but after such a strong Friday as we had yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised if we do continue to move to the downside. As I mentioned before, this move on the way up, it looks like a little bit compressed to me. There's maybe this is the last demand zone at the lows. Aside from that, all of this looks a little bit compressed. This was, as I mentioned, the last demand that was in there. You can see how beautiful this level was, where the air price reacted from during the FOMC. Aside from that, yeah, we did had this breakdown already. Price decided to respect it, and after that, to be honest, I would on the dollar I was looking for price to go a little bit higher, during the NFP. Price just respected this high. I would like to see price touching there and then dropping, a little bit similar to what happened on the dollar. Dollar fake out the low of the London during the London session. The dollar never really fake out this high that was created, I believe, during the London Open or something like that, around 7:30, 8 a.m. UK time. And yeah, this could have been a nice zone. This personally, that's where I'll be waiting to look for the sell during the FOMC. Price had just broken this level, so indication that it wanted to go down. Price never reached this level, so there was literally still space available, indicating where price wanted to go. Price again was reacting kind of from a good level on the left side. You can see that it was the weekly zone. In there, it's actually this beautiful supply level that was still fresh. In here, right, you can see that small touch in there. This high took that one, this high took this one, and this one was fresh behind because this high never really got there. So yeah, it was a nice zone for price to react from, and then yes, this was the level I was looking for personally in there. So it was a very short, and that may be a zone to look for in the future. In the future, maybe price can go and react from there and have some kind of reaction for an opportunity. Price now closed really close to the lows, so we are at this demand level. But again, personally, I could see price maybe retracing a little bit, but then eventually continuing the move to the downside. Next week, I don't know if there's any big news events. There's going to be the mid-term elections on Tuesday, 8th of November. I don't know how the market's going to react to that, how much of an impact that's going to be. I think there's some CPI data as well in the US. Something to take into consideration, right? But yes, nice move to the upside, full of compressed, fast push up, and the move down. On the other hand as well, on the dollar, eventually I would have liked to see even that high a little bit being taken and being faked out. But at this point it respected the base of this. So everything is kind of fine in that regard. So let's see if we are going to continue within this range, or if by any chance we are going to eventually break the lows. Yeah, first of all, let's take a look at that one, and then eventually yeah, let's see how price is going to react from there. So that's the dollar index. Again, still kind of within this range. Price taking the supplies that were left behind. Initially kind of it was that level where price reacted. Now it was that level where price reacted, taking the demands as well. Let's see what's going to happen in the future, next week. Yeah, if price breaks it and continues. I personally, I had a little bit more bias for the move to the downside on the dollar. Actually more based on what I could see on the USD card, for example, and even maybe dollar franc Swiss. Those were two good examples of why I was looking a little bit more to the downside, for example, yesterday. Yeah, so that's that. The indices. S&P and NASDAQ, right? So again, as I mentioned last week, they are in a quite different stage at this point. Again, they are super correlated. When one goes up, the other one goes up, and so on. When one goes down, the other one goes down. But you can see that, and as you mentioned last week, S&P has retraced basically 50%, while NASDAQ has retraced only 38% from this lows, right? That's why NASDAQ, for example, broke this low. So we got, if we count this low, I think it reacted from some level of structure that was in there, and it's kind of, that's where it is now. And S&P is still quite far away from from the war woes of from last month, right? So there's maybe a chance where you can have new woes being created on the NASDAQ, and maybe that's not going to happen on the S&P. Because at this point is quite far away, almost a little bit like Ethereum and Bitcoin last month, right? Bitcoin was super close to that to those woes from June woes, and Ethereum was kind of in the middle of the range, like quite far away from the lows. What we had in here, I was biased to the downside on the NASDAQ because of that engulf that I noticed from the lows. So that move was basically completed. It was this one, right? So I mentioned last week that this small engulf in here to the downside that has occurred, and that's why I was looking for price to go down. That was done. I mentioned initially that maybe this could be a good level for price to react from. However, I could still see the scenario where this low would be faked out into the next level, right? You need to go into the lower time frame to find out maybe what happened in here in order for maybe to see if there's anything in here in particular that can hold price to the upside. At this point, we haven't really broken this high yet, so there's still the chance that price wants to continue to go a little bit further down. And we have this demand that was ignored on the way down. Actually, it was touching here, as you can see. It was touched, price went up, basically maybe touched the next supply level, and it broke. So it was not 100% ignored, but there's still a chance for price to maybe react from there. And then let's see what's going to happen afterwards. So at this point, I still want to see this high being taken to start showing me indication that maybe NASDAQ wants to turn. Yeah, before it actually turns to the upside. We do have kind of this demand now. Price has been spiked a lot in there. This reaction was from that level. There's still maybe something a little bit closer to the lows. But as I mentioned, there's a chance that we can have a new low on the NASDAQ, and maybe that's not going to happen on the S&P. Price is reacting somewhere from there at this point. If you want to take a look into it, you can, or usually what I do when I see price getting closer to some lower lows or higher highs, I always take some time to go and look left to see actually where price is reacting to on the left side. And if there's anything that may be still fresh, a little bit underneath this low, for example, that maybe you can find, okay, there is a chance that actually, because this low didn't really touch the zone on the left side, maybe it still can be faked out, and then price can reverse. Or there may be a clear level in there somewhere a little bit further down that you think that price is going to be targeted towards there, and that can also happen, right? So yeah, let's see what's going to happen in there. At this point, we actually have this important level of previous support, a little bit aligned with that demand that was broken on the way up, and that was broken on the way down, and price, maybe that could be a good zone for price to touch and maybe continue to go further down. Maybe it's going to be one of the assets that are going to be the most impacted with the midterm is going to be the indices. So we'll see on Tuesday how it's going to happen. I think usually Tuesday they're going to be voting, and then by midnight or later in the day, that's maybe when you start having some predictions of who's going to win. Maybe that's when you're going to find out have some crazy volatility in the markets. At least it was something like that during the previous US election. That's usually how it happens in there. Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen in here. On the other hand, maybe I could see also this one as an engulf up the upside. Even though it just broke this high, it never really broke the next level of structure, this high. Another thing that sometimes I try to pay attention to, and that's why I was fully biased that price wanted to go a little bit farther down after the break of this, is when you fake out the highs, and basically price goes back there and almost immediately. So we fake out those highs, we broke these lows, and price decided to go there to take basically the orders that were kind of created with fake out in here, right? Kind of that were left behind after the fake out, right? You basically just draw a horizontal line. It's almost to the pip that you see this high reacting to in there. When I see that happening, so price kind of now taking the orders from the high that was faked out, I usually tend to see price then going further down. If we do have that engulf to the downside, I tend to see it going further down, and maybe even the chance of creating a new low before maybe even turning completely to the upside. So let's see, I did a video something like that on dollar yen a couple of months ago, before the first time that the Bank of Japan intervened in the market. Something similar. So maybe I'll try to share that link again. Yeah, it's basically when you have the engulf down, price if it respects this level. Maybe now I'm expecting after actually for price to not be respected at the highs that created this engulf down, but to actually occur one more fake out, and now yes, and now maybe price is ready to finally fill the space that was created with the break of this low in here on the left side. It's basically what it is. Yes, on the NASDAQ, personally during the FOMC, I think it was kind of hard to enter. I didn't really see the level in there. Maybe a little bit higher. That's what I was looking for. It is what it is. Yeah, let's see. As I mentioned, I would like to see this one being taken first before looking for more opportunities to start looking for ways for price to go higher. This one was taken. I can still see maybe price eventually continue. This one is going to be kind of an important level, and after that, you'll see there's a chance that price can easily respect this level and go higher. Maybe take first this one, go back, respect this level, and go higher from there, or go a little bit closer to the lows and then reverse. Hi Seb, how are you, man? You need to look at Dodge. All right, I never look at that one. You can do that. But yeah, let me just finish with the indices and I can look at that one. I need to find it first. Hopefully I find it. Yeah. On the other hand, in here, on the S&P, yep, maybe retesting this level, continue to go down, would be an option. So it's a little bit tricky for me to look for this one because it's a little bit more in the middle. I prefer actually to look at what the NASDAQ is doing because it's literally closer to the lows. So I prefer it a little bit more. In this case, I can see maybe that there is this barrier in here that price can hold price to the downside. Price at this point, did it reacted from there, right? Yeah, it reacted from that point, and yeah, it may make sense. It may make sense where it's reacting from. I would prefer to see personally S&P. I would prefer it to see it going a little bit further down before going and continue to move to the upside. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen in here. I'll be paying more attention at this point on what NASDAQ is going to behave around this level in order to look for maybe opportunities to go higher. Okay, just before I continue, you want me to look at Dodge, right? How can I Google that? How can I find it? Is this one? Dogecoin? Binance? All right. True. Good move in there. How this in November? How this move to the upside? Let's fantastic. Did price took this one? Yeah, price took that low. Interesting. Test the other zone just to get the monthly. Let's keep following here. Okay. What can you see on the way down, right? What can you see on the way down? For now, it was a good reaction from here, so this was a natural and kind of a natural target to look for. This one. Actually, let me do it with trading view drawings. Yeah, this was a fresh supply that was in there. Not just fresh supply, but also we had this KM zone, like with this left shoulder, like the high in there, the fake out, the head, and then that level. At this point, I still don't see any engulf to the downside, so neither even this one or even the low underneath it, it was been taken. Like this one, it will be something that I'll be looking for. Don't forget this is on the daily time frame. Maybe there's something else there on the lower. But at this point, price reacted from the next demand zone in here, and now it's in between. So paying attention to see which one of these lows is going to the lows or the highs is going to be taken first. It's going to be interesting. I can see that from the way up, and this is one of the exercises that I mentioned already a few times ago, that you can do, which is just take a look at the key levels that are still fresh, which ones price left behind or not, kind of this supply in there. Did price even took it? Just fake out that one. It maybe reacted from the base of that one. However, I don't think it got really to the extreme, so there's still a chance for price to get a little bit, even fake out this one more time. So you can see that this high, fake out this small wick in there into that level. That could have been a great zone to look for an entry when that happened. And this is usually what you want to try to look at, alright? Especially we just broke these lows, and we have the space between this high and the next level. After that, we do compressed in here. What other zone in there? Maybe this one. It's a little bit something in there, a little bit above this this high. Second. We price respect to that one. We left the other one behind, so keeping an eye on that one can be interesting. And this is kind of what you can be doing. This is the process a little bit that I go through when I'm trying to. This is the first time I'm looking at this chart, to be honest. I don't really follow Dodge. Yep, that one has been taken. Price continue to go down. What did price do? It respected for a moment in there. All this compression eventually broke the compression to the upside. Natural move to go higher. You can see how price moved during this compression. It got really to the extreme in there, right? So that's it. And if you actually zoom in a little bit, we are still on the daily, right? It's because that one was not there. Okay, in here, kind of the same thing. Pick out, it took that one, that's been taken. Price did broke below this level or not, kind of respected for a moment. And then it's again took more orders in there before the fake out. Supply has been taken by this one. Price start compressing. There's maybe this level in here that may be fresh. Something in here, because none of these highs got closer to that level. Now you can also start drawing maybe some support and resistance zones in here that may be relevant for price to go through. Maybe from this low in here or even this one in there, aligned with these left shoulders in here. So this left shoulder, basically the highs from that level. It took the left shoulder from these guys. I mean, it's this one, basically reacted from this one. So that's done, that's taken. No more orders in there, exactly, maybe a little bit above it. Price goes and compression, takes this one, it's done. There's maybe something in here. Did price took that one already or not? Yep, it was taken on that in there on the right side. As you can see, the extreme of this was left behind, this one never got there and it was taken in there, and now this is one of the next ones that maybe price has taken. Shoulder in there, this one, so this one has been taken as well. So let's just draw it. There you go. This is just an exercise for you guys to do it. Wait. Draw the rectangle in there. Which one did I mention before? Ah, this one, right? Meanwhile, we start having all those tops aligned with each other. I think it was something like this that I draw it from the base of that one. We start having all these highs in here that can be easily taken. This is the edge of the compression. Something towards there. There's maybe still this order in here that may be still fresh. And you can start drawing stuff like this. Right? Now maybe if I change the time frame, everything changes. Maybe this on the weekly it looks completely compressed and price is free to go higher. So that one's compressed. Price took the supply from here. Price went up. Price make this another move up. This is actually such a natural move, which is price creates lows in here. Price breaks structure, so you have the break to the upside in there. You can even use this one. It's basically everything has been compressed all the way until there. This was the last supply zone. As soon as you break that supply in here, price wants to start showing indication at where it wants to go next. And the natural zone to go to, now I'm not seeing where we are reacting to on the left side. And actually price was reacting from a good level on the left side, right? On the weekly and monthly. So this is a natural zone. Could be a little bit more underneath there. There's maybe, if you go to the war time frame, there's maybe something in here that eventually where this was reacted from. The main point was to fake out this one. This is what I want to see, right? We create this level, this one in here that is created in there, kind of respected. So now we have a double low that we need to fake out before price then goes and creates the move to the upside. And you're going to see this happening over and over and over again. On the way down, as you can see, we still create this supply in there. Price reacts from there and then still goes down a little bit more. One more touch from that level, taking those guys, but we already managed to break these highs. So we break some highs, but meanwhile respecting from the supply that was left behind on purpose. And price still goes down a little bit more until finally the move is done. Maybe there was some trend line in here that you could have drawn. However, all this compression in here on the way down, that is already kind of shown off as well. This one was already an indication that price most likely wants to go higher. You can see that this in here, there's still kind of a supply in there, and you can see how this week of this candle still reacted from there. So that's still a natural zone, maybe for some reaction, but the move to the upside was done, right? This high already had the indication that it wanted to go higher. Natural target for me, since this high is never to touch that one, I think I'll be looking for targets. If I was long, I'll be looking for targets somewhere in there with the potential to go a little bit in there, and then let's see, right? If you want to hold it, you can even maybe target some other highs. For example, this one makes sense to me. How this looks a little bit compressed, right? It started from this level. That's the separation between what happened in here with this big move to the downside in there. And you can go like that. Now, within this level on the daily, there's maybe something in here that can hold price a little bit down, but we are within this range at this point. And you want to see which one is going to break first, right? You can even have the scenario where you're going to finally break above this high and then maybe fake out a little bit, and maybe there's something underneath in here that you cannot really see on the war time frame, and price can use that to then continue to the upside, just to maybe fake out the lows that are going to be created in here. And that's a natural move that you would see happening quite often as well. So yeah, nice moving here. This is a beautiful type of price action that you see happening for price to go from kind of short to long. You see this happening quite often in terms of whatever is here on the left side. you can do this exercise. Just follow through the fresh levels that are still there. Where is the compression? Where is the space available? And keep following through. You don't need to gamble. You just need to wait for price to give you an indication that actually wants to go to the next zone. After price gives indication that it may wants to go higher into the next zone, it's not mandatory that price will just do this. Price can actually start creating some tricks at some place, which is maybe going down, now take the lows just to confuse everyone, to then maybe follow through and go higher, or even retest maybe this level in here, whatever it may be. So, but yes, beautiful move in here. I don't know if you're long. I understand why now you're starting to be paying attention to it, right? It got some moves in there since the beginning of the month. So it started to create the curiosity of everyone. But yes, nice move in there. We can even investigate as well on the world time frame what the hell is going on in there. Try to see where price can, if this is an engulf down or not, or if price touch something in there. This could be a good level as well to look for. 1 second. Yeah, something underneath this low could be also a good option for price to maybe take something from there and maybe retest the next level in here. You are short from 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6. Right, where is your stop loss? Is it above the highs, or how big of this move are you looking for? You are looking for a correction, right? Looking in here, now that you are in the war time frame, and basically everything that I did before on the daily, you can start doing it on the, you can start doing now on this war time frame, right? So it's just a repetition of different scales. Again, for example, this supply in there, it's kind of fresh. This could be a natural zone. Maybe I'll be looking for sales in there if I was by even trading this asset. Price reacted from there, so it's a nice reaction from here. These highs in here never touched the level, as you can see. In there, never really touch it. We have this zone in there to be faked out until there, which is quite nice. We have this demand zone. Price is being moving in compression, which is nice. We have this demand that can hold price. I want to see maybe price touching it and then go higher, then finally maybe breaking a low and then reacting from there and maybe go down. There's a chance that price may want even to still go a little bit higher, but this looks nice. On the other hand, I see this demand zone that maybe hasn't been touched yet, so there's a chance that we can even still fake out this low into there, and this will be, I'll be cautious to see how price will be behaving here. At this point on the daily time frame, on the hourly time frame that you're looking at, price never touched that level, so price can easily touch it and reverse. We'll see, because this will never really touch that level. All this, to be honest, almost looks compressed. So yeah, there's maybe more room to the downside, but before that, price can actually go a little bit closer to this level, or even fake out this one, going somewhere in there. Yeah, so it's repetition. If you now go to the 5 minutes, 15 minutes, it's just the same story on repeat. Loss is at 1375, right? Where is that? 1375. 1375. More above this high. Yeah, you covered this high in here, right? Yeah, maybe. Hopefully that can hold. I'll be cautious with this one. With this 114, something that looks like to me a good level. A good level to maybe look for opportunities in there. Yeah. Yeah, all right, enough with this Dogecoin. Now I'm going to be curious to see it, so I'm just going to add it to my watch list. Let's see how it's going to play out in the future. Yeah, just a good example of maybe what you can start doing, and after that, just wait for price to start breaking some key levels, gives you the indication where it wants to go next, and then you just trade the opposite extreme of that. That could be an approach, or you can even trade as price is breaking that level, maybe wants to retrace. You can even trade that retrace as well. Yep, that's basically what I try to do. Yeah, let's go back to Forex. So we took a look already at the dollar index, and we are going to take a look now at the euro index, which is exactly what another pair that we have been analyzing, and I did this prediction exactly like it's happening right now. The scenario where price, just give me a second. Finishing my coffee. So thank you, Seven. Thank you for the question. Are you being more active in other crypto coins? Now that finally it looks like crypto is moving a little bit, and maybe you're going to catch some of those big moves. That's maybe an opportunity. I know that you like to follow it, and you know that you like to trade it. So yeah, good luck. Good luck with that one. All right, so Euro Index, right? If you have been following the stream, you know that you have been looking for longs since we broke this high. We are looking for, what have I done? There. Okay, let's get this one. Ready. Okay. Yeah, since we engulfed that one, and natural target would be either a test of this level or the clear level of supply that we had in there, right? After that, which it was a perfect touch. After that, we're looking for actually we're looking for to see what price will do. It would either respect the supply or it would break it to the upside, and there's a chance that if it breaks above maybe this level, all this can be compressed and maybe price can go higher, or at least give the indication that it wants to go higher. At this point, not exactly. I don't really see that that indication yet, because price reaches neutral target, which would be the next level of supply after we broke this this highs here on the left side with this one. Natural target for this one would be also the next demand zone that is fresh, since price had moved in compression to the upside, and we had this double low, which would be a natural zone. Initially, I had this line in here that price could react. Price actually reacted, but the natural zone as well, it would be eventually the demand. If not the SR zone, then the next kind of supply demand zone that is in there and is fresh. So nice approach. So you can see how this compression is being created. So there's no surprise that eventually we are going to have just a strong move to pass through all this compression, right? So all the supply levels that have been left behind as price was going down, they have been picked up on the way down. So there's no more orders in there to hold price down. A level that I'm going to be looking for, and as that I mentioned, is maybe there's a chance of price still having some kind of reaction somewhere at around this level. So because this high has never reacted from there, so there's a chance that price can react in there. However, I would have been looking for shorts 100% in here if we had just broken these lows, price had retraced and fake out these highs that I want to see, and in there I'll be looking for lows in order to fill then the zone until this demand zone. At this point, the demand zone has been filled already, so there's not exactly more space to be filled in this case, because price decided to go there straight away during this move. So I'll be cautious on looking for sales in here. I can see some reaction, but maybe the only thing that we're going to see is maybe just the reaction until the next level maybe of support resistance that's going to be created in there, and that's all you're going to have from this move. It's just maybe something like this. So the potential to have a further move to the downside, it's smaller, because for me at least there's not exactly a break. For example, if price actually had broken this demand zone as well, now there will be even more space to look for. Maybe I could see price going all the way until maybe here. We call these two lows that are in there. That didn't happen, right? So price didn't just broke this low under trace, the same way that price in this case didn't even manage to break this demand in there. So price has been filled. Be cautious now on looking for sales in here. I can see price still having some kind of impact in there, some reaction. Just be conservative with your target. That's what I'll be looking for. This would mean that maybe there's more room to the upside on the euro. There's maybe this fresh supply in there, but I think I want to see price going higher. This high already took this low, this high in here, so it's kind of an indication price wants to go higher in there. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen. This level as well, that in theory could have been used as a big short, it may be used actually to the opposite side. Maybe it's going to be just a little bit respected. As I mentioned, maybe price will just find the next levels of support resistance on the opposite side, and now it's going to be broken. And what you're going to have is now price breaking it and leaving that level, and what it used to be a good level to look for a short, it may be actually as a good level to look for maybe a long in there. Yeah, so we'll see, right? No need to make way too many create too many buys. Create your scenarios, look for the probability of them, and let price start to show you where it wants to go, or what is about to do, right? Depending as well on the kind of approach that we're going to have towards that level. Are going to have a little bit of a compression as well now after taking this high. If we do break again, as I mentioned, as I like to see it, if you do start breaking some lows on the way up, that could be a nice indication that maybe price wants to turn and maybe going a little bit more further down. If by any chance price just continues to go higher but respects every single demand on the way up, maybe that's a sign that price wants to just go higher and break it. So that's for the euro index. Let's see what's going to happen in there. So far, all this prediction from basically since we had the break of this high, they have been quite spot on. And then the prediction as well of reaching the target, moving down towards that level. Yeah, that's basically, you can watch my stream from last week, and I basically just explained what happened this week, or since we had the reaction from there. Yeah, dollar yen, not dollar yen, yen index. Again, nice reaction for me. I wanted to see this one's going higher, and this actually was one of the missed trades that I did this week on the euro yen. Not even missed trade, I actually got stopped out exactly at the higher high of the euro yen for the week, and I missed basically all the move that the euro yen did to the downside. And in this case, basically what you see here on the yen index, just reverse it, and that's what you see on the yen pairs. So if this is going up, the yen pairs are going, the currency euro yen, dollar yen, and so on, they are going down. Yes, I wanted to see price going higher in there, above these highs, and getting closer to this level. As I mentioned, in this case, maybe this high had already touched it, maybe not, but I could see maybe the scenario. I could still see the scenario where price could go a little bit higher, but reacting somewhere in here, it will also be something to be expected. We are creating a strong compression on the way up. I could still see price going maybe a little bit further down. We did fake out that low, which is nice. So we'll see now what's going to happen on the yen pairs. Maybe can get a little bit more confirmation when you look at the individual yen pairs. All right, so that's that. Let's get to the major FX. All right, euro dollar, right? Euro dollar. All right, so euro, quite similar to what happened during the FOMC, with the dollar index, but on the opposite side. This was actually a nice move. I second guessed it in the beginning, that maybe if this zone in here, this beautiful KM zone in a higher time frame, would actually hold price or not. However, as price was building up, that was actually a quite nicely the way price actually moved away from this level, and it how created that move, right? And now it used the spike in here, the news during the NFP, to create that liquidity, right? This is what I mentioned before. On the euro, price ended up faking out the low that was created during the London Open, while the dollar index kind of still respected this level without getting in there, right? So this was another zone that me and Faden we just talked about the potential zones for the euro dollar just before the NFP, and we did mention that level. It got a little bit more precise than me, but it was around this demand zone that was still fresh in there. Initially, I was actually looking for the shorts during the NFP, because this was a level that I was looking for as well. Second, this was a zone that I wanted to see price going to in here. I didn't really manage to get short in there. I was aware as well that price could still react somewhere in there. So I didn't manage to catch the initial short, and I got so pissed. I think it was the first time that this happened to me, which is when I was about to open the trades, my platform just frozen. It just stopped working exactly in that precise moment. So my thought process in here, for example, on the euro dollar, it was exactly that, right? So the euro was reacting on the left side from that level that I mentioned, from somewhere in here, I believe, a little bit above it. Okay, no problem. Yeah, reacting somewhere in there, reacting from this previous level of support resistance. I was looking for shorts, didn't really got them. Price just moved away too fast, and I flipped my mindset as soon as price reacted precisely from that level that me and Faden had talked about. As soon as price reacted from this level, for me this was basically the last demand, fresh demand within this level on the higher time frame. You can even see on the hourly, for example, that this week was left behind. This one never took it. It was quite beautiful, and as soon as it reacted precisely from there, and it broke the new high, I was looking for short. I was looking for longs. And yes, I was waiting. I wanted to see price getting closer to this previous level of supply that was created during the news, and then it was completely ignored. So I was waiting for price to retrace there, and yeah, I was even looking at the 10 seconds chart, and as soon as price touched in here, and I'm about to execute the order, yes, my platform just frozen. Next, it took like 2-3 minutes to connect. Next time I managed to open the platform, price was already at a highs. I got pissed in that precise moment, I have to be honest, because I was expecting the way price reacted from here, and aware that on the bigger picture price actually was reacting from a really good level as well on the left side. I could see the potential for price to basically do what he did and continue to go, actually move away from here and go higher, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah, that was my story on the euro dollar yesterday. Aside from that, so if you take a look at what happened during our week, even with the FOMC, during the FOMC, it makes sense actually, this nice KM zone where it reacted from. I was looking for price to go a little bit higher, to actually take everything in here, to go slightly higher. On the other hand, I can still see the scenario where price could go higher as well. Like as I mentioned, I still see space for price to go closer to the upside, so I don't think these highs in here had reached its final destination to the upside. That's why I've been mentioning even that during last week. I can still see euro going, at least reaching closer to that level. Maybe that's why price still kind of managed to respect this level, not just continue to go further down. It was a nice KM zone in there on the 1 hour and the hour with time frame. Now I could see maybe tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Monday, I can see price opening, going higher, maybe faking out this guy, having some kind of reaction from there, but eventually price to continue to go higher. I don't know still if there's anything in there that price can respect for a little bit before maybe getting closer to that next level of extreme. So we'll see if the euro is going to continue to move to the upside. If you do break this high, I'm expecting price to eventually go above this one. At least that's the minimum I'm looking for. Price is respecting a little bit this level, yes, to get a little bit closer to that level in there. Everything seems to be compressed or taken on in there. Nice reaction from there. Maybe there's something in here that you can look for trend continuation. This price may go a little bit further down. Maybe there's something somewhere in there that you can look for price to continue to go higher. Look for longs on the euro. That's a complete possible scenario. But yes, looking at the euro, that's my main point. It was a nice zone that was in there. It was fresh. Price reacted. It built up in here for kind of 1-2 days until it finally moved away from the level. And yeah, and this is actually in terms of extremes when you are looking at these levels, looking for extremes of the levels. Yeah, find that fresh level that is still in there, that price never picked up at the extreme, and that's actually a really nice zone to look for. Look for price to go in a fast move, spike there and go higher. Yes, aside from that, there's a chance that price eventually can go higher and can maybe get closer to this level. Something in there. There's a scenario as well. Aside from that, it looks like it has been picked up already on the way. So this one has taken that one, maybe something in there. We'll see. Yeah, looking forward to see how price is going to open next Monday. On the other hand, if we even consider the euro index that we just looked at, there's maybe potential for euro index to still continue to go higher, as I mentioned, until maybe above the other high. And that's a little bit in alignment to what we see in here on the euro as well. Pound dollar. So we had pound dollar was one of the dollar pairs that moved more to the downside during the Fed, and then we still had the Bank of England that increased rates by 75 basis points, which was kind of biggest increase since, I don't know, 30 years ago or something like that. It's been a long time. And you had price going down in there. On the dollar and the pound, actually there was a slightly of a fake out move of the low during the NFP. I was looking for price to go even a little bit further down, which price never really got there. However, that's one of the situations, right? That I think I covered that in one of the previous streams. Kind of this looks like it's still fresh, that level. But now if you actually start going into the lower time frame, you can see that it's not exactly fresh. Price actually on the way up, it actually took the orders from there. So it's not exactly fresh as you think it is, and actually maybe this is the last demand zone within this level that is still fresh, which is actually where price end up reacting from in here, right? So you can see this is actually the zone because the other line that I had, it was exactly this line, and you can see how price picked up that level on the way up from this level. So this is it's not exactly still fresh. You can start looking for the zone above if this one had already been picked up, and if this one is broken, maybe there's a scenario that price will eventually just break these lows and continue. So this is actually a nice zone where pound reacted. It's exactly in here. I draw a rectangle. If I extend it, you are going to see that reacted from right, and you can see that this double low in there from this level, which was respecting there, none of them reacted from here, so they left the orders behind. So yeah, in that regard, it even makes sense that price end up making that small breakout, right? So you can see exactly where it reacted from in there. Yeah, on the other hand, we could see already a little bit of breaks to the upside. So that was that on the pound. What's next? A little bit similar to the euro. I still don't see that these highs had kind of reached its final destination. I could still see a little bit more move to the upside on the pound. Pound has been moving a little bit a lot in this pound likes a lot to kind of create double tops or double bottoms. That's something that the pound likes to do. It did that during the FOMC. I could see maybe this high being taken and maybe price have some kind of reaction somewhere in there. And then let's see what's going to happen next. Yeah, does this make sense to be a good zone? So this low already had taken the demand from this level, and now this one is kind of this KM zone that was created from this left shoulder in here, something like that. That was left behind, and yeah, good reaction. So let's see if you do break that level, if you do reach this level, maybe some reaction in there, and eventually I would like to see this one going higher, taking these highs and getting maybe closer to that zone. As I mentioned before, I do have this level in there. I actually quite like it. 11774. Yeah. So that's my view on the on pound. I haven't really been focused too much on the pound this week. Spend more time on the yen pairs, to be honest, and then on the euro. So it's phases for me. But yeah, let's see how it opens on Monday. If we do have, I'm expecting kind of a continuation on the same direction as last Friday, in this case to the upside. Looking at the pound yen, for example, it's respecting this double low in here, kind of new level of structure being respected. It's starting to be way too many lows together in there that eventually is going to attract to be faked out, right? I like kind of this level in here. None of these two guys took the orders from there, at least on this 4-hour time frame. Price could eventually go there, could increase a little bit, go higher, and then maybe taking that level and maybe going lower after that. Yeah, we'll see. If you do break above it, some of this level, which almost looks like compressed, there's a chance for this pound yen to go a little bit closer to the highs. Dollar yen. Yeah. So dollar yen, if we caught these highs in here on the left side, right? It took it. Yep, it took it, it broke it, respected that level, it broke again, and this is kind of an indication where it wants to go next. And really nice reaction in there. You can check it on the different time frame. And this is something that you want to be paying attention to during when you are about to have some big news events. What happened? When you're about to have some big news events, pay attention to the extremes, right? Pay attention to the extremes, pay attention to the fresh orders. Just the same thing that happened with the euro, that it kind of spiked to collect those orders and then it moved higher. You can also see that happening during the FOMC. So all those other big news events, pay attention to them. There's a high probability that maybe, especially if price starts to break lows, for example, in this case, it's kind of showing the indication where it wants to go next, because price didn't really react from the next level of structure. There's a chance that price can just spike, react from that extreme. Nice reaction in there. This fresh wick just above this high. So look for maybe high swells that can be faked out, that have left the fresh level just above them. You can start with a higher time frame. You can see in here how beautiful that level is on the 4 hour. On the hour view as well, you can see how beautiful this level is, how this looks compressed on the way down, where that is the extreme of that compression. The 30 minutes as well. There you go, right? That's maybe a little bit something above that price eventually could go to, but that's already enough in there, right? And you can see in here this beautiful decision point. Price went up a little bit and then tried to attempt to go up. In here, kind of would make a decision to this, or to actually reject it and go down. So that's a beautiful zone in the future to look for, an opportunity to look for an entry in there, because these highs, they didn't really react from there. Beautiful zone in there on the dollar yen. I've been entertained with the dollar yen again after so long without trading it. I'm being active again, trading it. Yeah, I did miss. I missed this big short in there on Monday. I got it break even first, then I got a small short, but then all this move eventually occurred, or the move away occurred during the Asian session, so I was not awake. But I was looking for that move to the downside on the yen. I like that level that was still fresh, and I could see the type of approach that we had. It's quite nice actually. Yeah, we'll see what's next. Nice move up, retrace, goes down. There's maybe something in there, but I could see again the same story, maybe the continuation to the downside on Monday, and we'll see how price is going to react somewhere in there when it gets close to that level. Yeah, bigger picture. I think this low, it may be already an engulf to the downside. Another one. So I think I would like to see from, so we had this demand zone, right? That was respected in here. So at this point, there's maybe not the engulf down. However, the engulf down is done with this one. Into kind of all this compression, which maybe price eventually is going to go there. It doesn't mean that when you have kind of an engulf into the compression zone, doesn't mean that all the demands maybe are being taken. Maybe they aren't. For example, this one is a little bit fresh. I don't even know if this is exactly where price reacted. There you go. It is. There's maybe still even this one. It's maybe a little bit fresh as well, that price can bounce from. But yes, there's maybe still some demands in there. But maybe if you look into the higher time frame, maybe that's a clear indication that that's actually out compressed, and there's a high probability that price wants to go at least and feel the other extreme of it. And it's actually nice to see that there are some demand zones, because it's going to fresh levels in there, because price is going to use those fresh levels to have a deep retrace. So then you can have your best opportunity to actually look for a trade in order to feel the move, to feel the space that was created with the break of this one. So it's okay to see some fresh levels in there. Be aware of them. You can even trade them, and then if price does offer you that possibility of a deep retrace, go ahead and take advantage. I could still see price eventually going there as well. It looks like a nice zone that is still fresh. So let's see now what's next on the dollar yen. Eventually, I would like to see price going back to this level, at least. But this level can be interesting as well. We have this support resistance aligned with this level, touched a few times, and we have this fresh to money in there. So even this one, 144.817, even to fake out this level one more time, that can be a good zone to look for some kind of reaction. The dollar yen. Yeah. Hi Randy, did you subscribe to the channel? Was it you? I heard some kind of notification. Thank you for subscribing, by the way. High five to you, man. Thank you. Let me know in the comments. What kind of assets do you like to trade? And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So that was dollar yen, and this is euro yen. Right, so euro yen, this was my stop loss in there. With this trade, I won the trophy of the week. That's my competition with Faden, to see which trade do you miss the most. Right, either we close it too early and then you miss out the move, or you kind of get stopped out and then price just moves away. So it's a funny competition that we have on a weekly basis. This week it was mine. There was no chance. Since Monday, it was a game over straight away from Monday, after I got stopped out in here. Hey man. It's no chance, man. This week is mine. I don't even care about the other trades that you missed. That was mine on euro yen. Yeah, euro yen moved all the way back to the lows. Kind of respected this left shoulder, and it retests now. If this was not by the end of the week, maybe I would have tried to look for a short in there. It looked like a nice interesting level. We decided never really reacted from there, and I would have tried to look for it, but it was kind of 1 hour just before the market closing. And again, finally the hour is going to change in the US and Canada, so it's going to be back to normal, right? Because this week the news kind of was at 12:30 in UK time, or for example the Fed was at 6 p.m. and not 7 as usual. So yeah. Medal for sure. All right, how are you doing, man? How are you doing? Any key levels? Are you going to start now a little bit of weekly analysis? Yep. From here, it's kind of middle of the move, right? Since retesting that level, so we basically build the space all the way until there, from here to there, and now it's maybe around 50% retracement. There's a chance that price can do something in here. Looking at compression, this one has been taken. Maybe retest of this level. We'll see. Nice turning point in there. Nice spike in there as well. Yeah. If you're long, this would have been a good target, right? Because all this looks compressed. Again, that story of looking at compression moves. All that looked compressed. And you can look for targets on the other extreme of the compression when you have it. So at this point, not really sure. I will be waiting and see what the euro yen wants to do for next week. Last week it was a little bit more obvious, and I was looking for price to fake out all these highs in here. I like the compression again. This could be kind of natural first target with a scenario where price could actually go much farther down. Yeah. I'll be waiting and see at this point on the euro yen. Again, I prefer to look for trades at the extremes, and euro yen is quite far from extremes. Unless there is some kind of clear fresh level, and there's maybe some highs or lows that can be faked out to be used as liquidity, then I can look for maybe some scalps in there. Aside from that, I prefer to trade extremes. Yeah, okay, do it in a bit. You think that you dollar? Yeah, I was looking for it as well. That's what I mentioned. I think on the dollar index, I could see the dollar breaking those lows from last week or 2 weeks ago. I could see it going a little further down. On the opposite side, I could see euro going higher. Right, I'm still targeting, or I'm still expecting eventually for euro to go above this highs and to get closer to that level. Personally, I don't think this is the final destination for this move on the euro. After we get to here, then we'll see what's going to happen. Yeah, so I'm looking a little bit more for dollar weakness and euros to the upside. So yeah, Aussie has been kind of in a range. Good moves, big moves. Again, during the FOMC, for example, how price reacted to the extreme. Find those extreme zones, and maybe price then is going to react quite nicely from there. It was kind of in the middle of the range. Price just spiked all the way up, and then it continued to move down. Personally, I haven't really paid attention too much to the Aussie this week. Price reacted nicely from there, so we are within this range in there. We'll see what's going to happen. I could see the scenario where Aussie would eventually break these highs. I have maybe a zone a little bit above it to look for a potential opportunity, not too much from the trade, because I could see maybe the potential scenario where maybe price is evolving to the and going higher. It can happen, or price can just continue to respect this size and can go down at this point. Not really sure, but I could see maybe Aussie taking these highs, taking out these highs in here, and then maybe eventually continue to move a little bit upward. Did it took this low or not? I don't know if that low took that one. Talking about euro, right? 1.16. Yeah, close to here. Yeah, that's the extreme, right? Somewhere in there. Yeah, that looks nice. I could still even see first some reaction at this price, just to collect liquidity straight away, maybe from these highs, and then eventually we can go closer to that level. Yeah, I could see that. 1014. Yeah, well, somewhere in there. Yeah, I want to see price going there. That's what I'm looking for on the euro. So, but of course, when price gets there, we will take more closer look at the levels and how price is approaching the zone as well. Yeah, Aussie. Yeah, not really sure. This was a good opportunity to have sold 2 weeks ago or last week. After that, yeah, nothing much to say at this point on the Aussie. So let's see what's going to happen, if price breaks the highs or not. At this point, don't really have a bias in that point. Euro Aussie, it's another one that I haven't been looking that much into it. However, from what I can see, maybe how this is compressing here. even have a little bit of an engulf down in there. So I wouldn't be surprised if by any chance we do get closer to this level. If we see Euro USD maybe continuing its compression to the downside, it can even spike a little bit, something like that, and then go eventually get to this level, or at least get closer to this lows. If this is something to happen, maybe we're going to see Aussie going higher. So, but yes, honestly, on this Euro Aussie, I think price can go all the way until here at least. Take these lows and getting closer to that level, and after that, it may resume the move to the upside, because price just stopped a little bit in here. Not sure either if this is the final destination from these highs. Maybe there's a little bit more room to the upside. A little bit more room to the upside on the Euro Aussie. But before that, price can maybe drop before it resumes. Yeah. The yen is another one that I have been looking that much into it. A little bit of a different range comparing with the Aussie. Again, affected a little bit with what's going on with the yen. Price respected this low, so there's maybe not exactly an engulf down in this regard. From here, price went there, price retraced, respected, and let's see now what's next, right? So this is a good zone that price needed to, or it was expected to be respected, and let's see if we do break it to the upside. The extremes in here, they were still not picked up. So there's a chance as well that price can literally fake out everything that's in there and to react from here on the Aussie in the future, and this Aussie yen. So let's see what's going to happen in there. Dollar CAD. So dollar CAD was the one that it played out basically in perfection to precisely what we did last week, right? In terms of engulfs, fake outs, and so on, and scales, it worked out. We mentioned that we had this break of these lows. This was an indication for me that price wanted to continue and move lower. Looking at the bigger picture, where price was reacting on the left side from these highs and the engulfing here, right? Definitely for me, there's absolutely no reason for price to break the lows especially in this case, right? So we have a double low, so price respected the lows, so that was done. Price even goes up and it breaks the high, which in this smaller scale, in this lower time frame, or a smaller scale, comparing like this in green. Let's do this. So we have this yellow scale, which you just broke it in there, and then maybe we have the green scale, which is maybe from this size to these lows, and it just broke it in there, right? So in theory, the green tail is telling us that price wants to go higher. The yellow is telling us that price wants to go lower. Both of them can work out quite nicely, right? Green can still go higher, and after that, we can just follow what the yellow is telling us. And this is the game of scales, as I see it. It doesn't mean that, again, it doesn't mean that price cannot maybe break this low from the green. The signal is still there. On the other hand, as I mentioned, what I wanted to say is there is no reason, especially if you have a double low created as we have in here, from this low, this one, there's absolutely no reason. If price just wanted to go higher, there's no reason for price to make this move. Just respect again the lows and just go to the upside. If that's what you want, if that's your idea, if price wants to do that, just continue. Just respect the lows and don't open the door, right? don't open the door showing indication that you want to go to the next side. Just keep the door closed and just follow through. If you open the door, that for me it's a clear indication, especially in this case when you already have a double O and the fake out is just that small. That's a clear indication that price wants to go down in this case. Question mark, then it will be from where, right? Where would be the zone that price would like to go to retrace until then it continues to go down. And as I mentioned, I target this high. This would be a natural zone to look for. If you are long on your green scenario, this would have been a nice good target. And anywhere above this high, it would have been a good target to look for if you were long by any chance anywhere in there. Yeah, so price did exactly that. Price went up, price respected exactly as well all these demands in here. I think this is on Tuesday, then this is during the FOMC. Price respected precisely that level until it reached the final one of the destinations that I mentioned last week. Nice supply level. We have all these previous level support resistance in there. It's also aligned with the demand zone that made all this move to the upside. So it's actually quite a nice move. And then we have even a little bit more level of support resistance on the left side. After that, there you go. Now it's time to play the yellow scenario. So this will be kind of the sell for the yellow scenario to target this low and to expect price to go further down. At this point, I'm expecting price to continue to go a little bit lower, at least to target these lows in here. That's my view on the dollar CAD. And there's even the scenario that price can even eventually take these guys and even go a little bit further down. And then it depends exactly until where price wants to go, and if even wants to go closer to this level, which is quite nice as well in here. Yeah, let's see if that's on the cards for the Euro CAD. But for now, most in next target for sure to be for me looking forward to break of those lows. So that was the prediction last week. That's how you can try to anticipate and play out scenarios when you see breaking of highs, lows being taken, right? So if for example, if you are not even sure that you want to go long after the fake out of this one, after this move to the upside, if you are not sure, maybe you got faked out in here and you got stopped out. After we break the new high in here, this is a clear indication, or just reinforces the information that actually price may wants to go a little bit higher, targeting that one. Especially this one didn't even got close to that level. Yeah, targeting in here as a zone to enter could be a great scenario. So yeah, there's more than one opportunity to try to participate in the move. So yeah, that's cut. I'm looking for maybe continuation to the downside. Just I'm looking for a little bit more weakness on the dollar. Yeah. Faden, do you have any key zone on the lows for the CAD? Which target are you looking for? I do like this level for now. 13398. Maybe some reaction in there could be a scenario to look for. Yeah, maybe some retracement, maybe trying to look for more opportunities to look for sales on Monday could be a good scenario. Dollar franc Swiss. Dollar franc Swiss was another example of that, of engulfs down and engulfs up and different scales. So we broke this level. Price kind of is reacting from here. For me, I'm not sure if this is the final destination. I see this one as a further move to downside. I could see the scenario where price could have fake out this high and maybe going a little bit higher. I tried to analyze a little bit what was going on the left side where this high was reacting from. Like somewhere in here, I could see price maybe going a little bit higher and that would be okay. Price apparently decided to respect it basically to the pip. It didn't really took the high, create a quite perfect double top in there. We talked about that on Tuesday, that at the same time, that same scenario. Let's create the yellow, kind of the yellow engulf of these lows, and then we have the green engulf of this high, and we have this demand zone that is quite nicely, it was quite nicely holding price. During the FOMC, price still decided to take a little bit below these lows, and to actually touch the demand that was actually not touched by those lows, and move higher, right? So it respected the green engulf to the upside, and let's see now if it's going to respect the yellow engulf to the downside from the bigger scale. So this is the bigger scale in yellow. This was the other one kind of in green that price wanted to now go upwards until maybe somewhere in there. On the yellow scenario, price may want to go until maybe somewhere in here, or yellow, somewhere in here, or even somewhere in there, or wherever it wants to go. Let's see if we do have that move to the downside on dollar franc Swiss, and if eventually we manage to break these lows again, and it will be another scenario where we have engulfs, fake outs, engulfs, and different scales in play. That's a good exercise, guys, to do. Start paying attention to that, all these different signs that the market is telling us. So yeah, same story. Maybe to resume the move to the downside, maybe there's some kind of opportunities to look for a sell if price does retrace a little bit. Yeah, on the other hand, now we have a double top in there, and I could see the scenario where price could fake out. What else? Gold. Gold managed to survive. Gold managed to hold the these lows to hold price from September. We fake out the lows from October, and there it goes. All right, it just moved to the upside. Yeah, quite a move in here. We are even about to even break these highs in here. We already broke, you see, broke this high, straight away respected that level, and now we maybe have some level in here that price could do something like this, and should we take it, and we continue to go higher. Yeah, let's see until where gold is going to. Oh. Dollar cardio like 3308. Somewhere in here, right? Three 0.8. Yep, I have something in there already drawn on the war time frame. I think that's a compression in there. On the dollar card, I still like this one, 3340. I remember this one. I was looking for longs in there. Price never managed to fake out. I think this was during the, not this week's, but last month's FOMC. Yeah, I remember I was short in there, 2 times short in there. I was looking for targets too far down. Price stopped in there, so break even on second part of the position. And I was looking for price to get closer to this level, at least. Yeah, aside from that, I do see this compression there. Yeah, something below that level would be interesting to see. Of course, you are looking at the worst time frame, as you know it. 3308. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, there are a few key points in there. This one that I mentioned that maybe could be nice for price to go below. Maybe everything has been taken already during all these spikes. Yeah, there were a few zones that were left behind while CAD was on the way up, which it can offer good opportunities for some bounces and some opportunities to kind of counter trend as price is going down. So it's something to keep an eye on for sure. Jesus, my mouth is hurting. Yeah, gold, you said that you are looking for 1709. 1709. Yeah, that looks nice. Yeah, that looks nice in there. Some reaction above this high. Yeah, it can be. Yeah, I'll be looking for. Yeah, maybe some. Yeah, waiting for price action to tell us. Yeah, something above this high in here. Just to fake out this guy. That would be a good level. Maybe some reaction first, just to attract a little bit more sellers into it. That's a nice zone. Yeah. I think basically that's it. Let me just take a look at Bitcoin. What are these guys doing? And Ethereum, and then I'll wrap up the live stream. It is killing me, man. Ah. Oof. Yeah, Bitcoin, it looked like it may be on the way towards there. It never broke this low, so respecting it, which was it's a good indication that maybe price wants to just continue to go higher. There's maybe something in there, but price can target maybe this 22k. That could be an option. Go, man, go enjoy your weekend. Go ahead. Yeah, we will. We'll keep in touch. Go enjoy your weekend with your kids. Thank you for always stopping by, man. I'll wrap up the live stream as well. Yeah, Bitcoin. Maybe some sales for this weekend. Natural first target in there. If you're looking for that. Eventually, price can maybe continue to moving higher, closer to that level. That could be something to look for. Did this guy in here took that one? Yeah, it looks like it took that level already. So that's done. And Ethereum, as we mentioned already, this for me was an engulf to the upside, natural zone for price to maybe found some orders to continue to move upwards. It will be this demand. Maybe initially could have been that one. I think we broke it, so yeah, it would have been this one. Price is now kind of compressing a little bit, respecting the demands as it goes up. Did you already touch the base of this? Maybe already touched the base of this low, which could be one of the first targets. I could still see eventually price to go a little bit higher on Ethereum, right? So this high didn't touch anything. This high now is touching the base of this level. But I think price could still continue to go a little bit more to the upside. Ethereum, opposite to Bitcoin, it didn't really reacted from this level, so there's a scenario where price can still maybe fake out this low and maybe continue to the upside. That can be one scenario. We have this demand that needs to be broken. If this is broken, maybe we can have something like this happening, and from here price can maybe just resume the move to the upside. Maybe something like this could happen, and price will just eventually continue until it gets there, maybe to 1717 mark. So yeah, that's it for these guys. Eventually, personally, I think Ethereum can easily fake out this size. So this is one of the first targets, but it can even fake out this size, getting closer to that level that it left behind since we dropped last on the 10-11 of September. All right, guys, that's it. That's it for me this weekend. Yeah, I'm feeling some pain here on my mouth, my teeth. I'm struggling to talk now. All right, thank you for attending. I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great start of the week. I'm looking for price to continue to move in the same direction as last Friday, at least on Monday. Hopefully there is not going to be any big gaps. A few Mondays. These last few Mondays, there were a few scenarios where price basically, as it opened with some gaps, or during the Asian session, basically did the move that I wanted to see happening during the normal trading hours, so London and the US session. So it basically did the move even before the London open. Hopefully that's not going to happen. Price is going to just open normally, and you're going to see price continue moving in the same direction as last Friday. Then Tuesday, it's going to be another day to see what's going to happen. All right, so take care. See you next time. See you Tuesday. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, just comment below, and I will reply to them on Tuesday. And don't forget to subscribe as well. Thank you. Bye bye. Obrigado.